What are my millionaire daily habits? I'm Nate. I'm the FitFutureMD. I help you get your mind right, get your health right, get your bank account right, and your relationship right. I'm the owner of Ensorsale. Ensorsale is family. Shop at Ensorsale.com. Use code FitFutureMD for 20% off. The Easter drop is now live, so check that out. The straight up risen shirt is sick, so I hope you like it. Let me know in the comments below if you think it's cool. So, as we all know, success is about your habits, right? So what is my daily routine that is going to build me into success, right? So the number one thing when you look at, billionaires and millionaires is most of them wake up early, right? So I'm no different. I wake up at 3:45. Now there's been some crazy talk out there about people waking up at 2:45. And the truth is that when I make it to the gym in the morning, there are people that are already there and they're about to be done with their workout, which is, crazy in and of itself. But, 3:45 is pretty much, 3:45 is pretty much early enough for me, right? It's where I can still, if I did 2:45, then, in the middle of the day, I start losing function, right? So you have to find that spot for you when waking up early. You may be a person, that wakes up at 5, right? And then you can still function throughout the day. So you just have to find that spot for you. But either way, you're waking up early. Like if you're working at 9 o'clock, you're going to have at least 4-5 hours before you make it to work to do other things, right? Really the purpose of waking up early is to, get time with yourself, with your mind, your thoughts, because when your mind's not clear or you don't have that time during the day, you may be somebody that works, on something else or, whatever. But you're not just waking up just to wake up. You're waking up with a purpose, right? So the first thing I'm getting is my coffee and I'm going to the toilet, right? Hopefully everybody else, has the same process. But, while I'm sitting there on the toilet, I'm looking at the stock market, right? And I'm doing a search to see if I can find a stock to invest in that day or that week or that month, right? And usually that takes 4 or 5 minutes, right? So, that's what I'm doing there, right? So as soon as I'm done with that, I'm headed straight to the gym, right? So I usually spend an hour and a half in the gym, so 4:30 to 6 roughly. So 4:30 to 6 roughly. And so then I get back at 6. Now at 6 o'clock, when I get back to the house, I'm going to read for 10 minutes, right? 10 minutes a day is all I read currently. And if you read 10 minutes a day, you'll have read more books in a year than 95% of people out there. There are people that read, 4 or 5 hours a day, and they're obviously going to beat you in reading. But when you're looking into competitions of things, you may not be able to change your life to be, number one at reading, but you can change it enough where you're getting one concept a day, to think about the rest of the day, right? So if you're going to say you start reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and, his big thing in that book is the rich don't work for money, right? The rich don't work for money. The rich don't work for money. The rich don't work for money. So if you got that one concept from that book in that 10 minutes, and you did it the rest of the day in your head, the rich don't work for money. The rich don't work for money. And it'll actually change you, right, over time, right? And sometimes you'll start reading something for 10 minutes and realize the book is crap and throw it out and go to the next book, right? So that's my morning routine, basically. And then I eat breakfast after I eat, or after I read, right? So that's my, millionaire morning routine before I go to work at 7, right? So what did we do? Like, what was the outcome of this morning routine? What's the purpose? Number one, the purpose was mentally, right? So, I read, working on my mindset, right? Reading. If you're trying to change something in your life, you're going to add in affirmations, right? Obviously, as soon as I wake up, I pray, right? And those are my affirmations for right now. Like I said, I've already given up cigarettes, already given up smoking, right? You're working on the health and nutrition by going to the gym every day, eating right, that type thing. So it's very clear what purpose you have with your morning routine, right? I'm not sitting here jumping into a cold plunge. I'm not taking a cold shower. Like, there's purpose to what I'm doing, right? I'm looking at the stock market to invest less than 10 minutes a day, right? And that's all you have to do to be better than 95% of investors, 10 minutes a day, right? So, but you can see where it's not really enough to be a distraction from what your main focus is. If your main focus is raising your kids, your main focus is, your main job, it's not enough to take that away from you, right? It's not going to decrease what you're doing with your main thing to add this stuff, right? So, and there's a big push out there. So, you may not want to work out in the morning like I do, right? You may want to work out at night or whatever. You may work out in the middle of the day. So in that case, I would go right into working on whatever I'm trying to work on, right? For those 2 hours, right? So you wake up at 4, you got to be at work at 7. For an hour and a half to 2 hours, I'm working on whatever I need to work on, right? But that's my, morning routine, right? Now, at night, right? So if I have orders during the day, we'll work on the order at night, okay? Now, I've got it set up where, I can handle, 10 to 20 orders a day by myself, right? So, if we're dropping something and it pops over 20 orders a day, then obviously I'm gonna have to get help to do more than 20 orders a day, right? So, stuff like that. But so at night, the biggest thing about nighttime is preparation for the next day, right? So if, you're gonna be, eating healthy with meal plans and all that, you're gonna have that meal plan ready for the next day, right? Already in the lunchbox, already in the refrigerator, ready to go, right? Let's say you're already gonna have what you're wearing the next day picked out, right? I shave at night. I don't shave in the morning, right? These dead times where you'd be sitting and relaxing, we're going to change that into preparation time, right? So, honestly, I am a TV person. I do like watching a show or a movie at night, right? So after I get my preparation done, my work done, I am relaxing watching a movie or a show. And there's nothing wrong with that. People that think, that there is something wrong with that, there's not, right? There's a reason that the Coliseum exists, right? And however you choose to relax is on you. Like if you feel like, you want to pick up the book and read some more and fall asleep reading the book, all power to you, right? I usually fall asleep watching a show, right? So, but this is basically my my millionaire routine, right? I'm going to work on my mind. I'm going to work on my health, right? I'm going to work on investing, right? Because, invest to impress. Invest in yourself, invest in others, invest in your family, and invest in assets, right? That pay you without you working, right? So if you got bad credit, the easiest one to do is the stock market, right? If you got good credit, and cash full of money and a bank account full of cash, then you can obviously go into real estate and other things like that. Or if you got a network that'll pay you to get real estate, you can get real estate, that type thing. Usually I'll look at real estate based on a criteria. Like say, look at stocks based on a criteria. I've talked about that on my channel before. But you can see we pretty much got everything, figured out. And that's my daily routine, my daily habits, right? Success is in your habits, right? So I improve myself, mind, body, and investing wise, right? Every day. And if you do that, that compounds the success. The reason it's successful, the habit helps you be successful because it actually is what is compounding, right? Reading every day makes you more efficient at reading, right? So the 10 minutes when I started a day, it was a lot slower than the 10 minutes I read right now. I can read probably 3 times the amount that I used to be able to read, right? Because I read 10 minutes a day. Also, it makes me more efficient at my job because I can read faster at my job, right? And understand and comprehend easier, right? There's rarely, so when I first started, I had to look up words, right? What does this mean? So, you read 10 minutes and you may have to look up 5 words and then, you only read 2 pages, right? Whereas now I rarely come across a word that I don't know what it means, right? So you're not just reading to read, you're reading to understand, right? And it doesn't matter, it's better to study and know one book well than to know a little bit about a bunch of books, right? So, and, quoting people can be impressive or whatever, but, when you're trying to, you're reading for a purpose, right? You're reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad to understand how the rich think and to train your mind to think like a rich person, right? Because you're tired of being broke, right? You're tired of your family struggling. You're tired of, medical bills coming in and you not being able to pay them. You're tired of collectors calling you. We've all been in those situations before, right? And when you go to get a job and they run your credit score, they don't give you the job because there's a bounce check from when you were 17 years old, right? Stuff like that. So, like I say, we're moving on from that lifestyle into a rich lifestyle, and we do it with millionaire habits, and we start that with our daily routine. So let me know in the comments down below what your daily routine is. I'm Nate. I'm the FitFutureMD. I help you get healthy. I help you get rich, and I help you in your relationship. Shop at Ensorsale.com. Straight Up Risen drop is out right now. Our Easter drop. Use code FitFutureMD for 20% off. I appreciate your support, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.